Hey kids, we are in the grammar and cup section of our writing notebook, and we're going to be adding conjunctions to our table of contents, and we're going to start our conjunctions on page 146. So you can go ahead and get that added and then pause the video. All right, so now we're on page 146. You need to cut out your conjunction paper, and then probably I would write on it first and then glue it in later so that you don't have the moist glue on the paper, maybe getting your pencil to poke through. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. If you need to cut that out, why don't you go ahead and pause it, or you could just cut it out after we write. Okay, so what you're going to write first is basically what a conjunction is. Conjunctions connect two complete thoughts. So if you have complete thoughts, you want to connect them together instead of putting two separate sentences, you're going to connect them with a conjunction. Now, the way that we can show this is I have a sentence, and I'm going to write it in two different colors, and you can do that as well. And then I'm going to add my conjunction in here. And it is going to connect it to the next sentence. And that way I don't have to put punctuation and just start both sentences with I. And then, of course, I would punctuate my sentence, and I would add my little comma here because we always use a comma and a conjunction when we connect two complete thoughts, which we have here if we have two sentences. And then, of course, our conjunctions that we will most likely be using will be fanboys. And you guys learned what that means. So we've got for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. And so you would have one of those conjunctions in there. All right, now you can pause the video if you want to go ahead and catch up with these things that you're going to write. Or we can go ahead and continue. You can pause it wherever you need to. What we also want to remember is that joining a sentence with a comma and a conjunction makes a compound sentence. So when I have two complete sentences and I put them together with a comma and a conjunction, I have made what is called a compound sentence. So we're going to add those things in there. And I want you to leave yourself some space down here because we're going to be adding something to this later on, but that's all we're going to do for now. So if you haven't gotten this written down yet, you can go ahead and pause the video, and when you're done, you can continue and we'll work on page 147. All right, page 147. Now you need to cut out the other section of this, so you're just going to cut around the box, and then you'll fold on the black line, and then you'll cut each flap out so that it'll open separately. So you will need to glue this down before you write. So go ahead and cut out, and remember you're only putting glue on this little strip right here. So go ahead and cut out and then glue down, and then turn the video back on when you're ready to write under the flaps. All right, so we're going to write under here what a conjunction is. It connects two complete sentences. So you're going to write that under there. If you need to pause to write that, you can. Okay, and then under the F, of course, F stands for for. So over here, you're going to write for, and then we're going to use it in an example sentence. And I'm actually going to do some highlighting in this. Patrick thought he had a good chance of making the team, for he had practiced a lot. Now, that might not be the common way that we would use it. I would probably put something like because he had practiced a lot. But here's our comma. And here's our conjunction. So we've connected two complete thoughts together. He practiced a lot is a complete sentence by itself. Patrick thought he had a good chance of making the team is a complete sentence by itself. When we use a comma and a conjunction, we can connect them together and then make more interesting sentences. And what's that called? You're right, it's called a compound sentence. All right, pause if you need to finish writing that down. Okay, we're going to go on to and. And you're going to write and on this tab over here. Lindsay is in 3rd grade and her brother is in 1st grade. Two complete thoughts. Lindsay is in 3rd grade. Her brother is in 1st grade. We connected it with a comma and the conjunction and. And is the most common conjunction we'll use. Now, a lot of times in our writing, we don't put a comma when we connect things with and that's okay. as long as the thing you're connecting aren't both complete sentences. If they're both complete sentences, you need a comma. If it's a complete sentence and an incomplete sentence, you don't need a comma. So if it said Lindsay is in 3rd grade and goes to Innovation Academy, that one would be okay because goes to Innovation Academy isn't a complete sentence by itself, so you wouldn't need the comma. All right, pause the video if you need to add, if you need to finish writing this one down. Okay, we're going to go on to nor. Nor is probably not a word you've used that many times, but it fits in as a conjunction really well. Fred was so sick he didn't want to play, nor did he want to eat. So, or is probably a common word that we're used to using, but nor means you didn't want to do something, you didn't want to do something else. This nor that. Okay, so you didn't want to do this thing, or you didn't want to have this thing, nor did you want this other thing. So we've got 2 complete sentences, connecting them there with the comma and the conjunction nor. Go ahead and pause if you need to write this one down. Okay, the next one is B. I'm ready for the Snickers. The word is but. Not the but you're giggling about, though. All right, I'm going to have to open up this flap so that we can see this. So I'll draw a little line here to separate it. Lisa was tired, but she went to the party anyway. Lisa was tired is a complete sentence. She went to the party anyway is a complete sentence, so we've connected them with a comma and the conjunction but. Pause if you need to finish writing. And then the O stands for or. We're putting it over here. You can go skating or you can go to the movies. So usually when we use or, we're comparing. We're saying one is a choice, so it's either this or that. So we've got our comma and our conjunction. You can go to the movies is a complete sentence by itself. Pause if you need to finish writing this one. Okay, the next one is yet. I don't like strawberries, yet I like strawberry cake. So usually we use yet in place of but. It kind of goes along with it. So it's like saying, I want to do this or I like this. However, but yet there's this other thing going on. So I want to be thin, yet I really like cupcakes. So there's 2 contradictory statements. And it's true, I do like cupcakes. So we've got our comma and our conjunction yet. I like strawberry cake is a complete thought. I don't like strawberries is a complete thought. So we can put a comma in there. Pause if you need to finish writing this one. Okay, and the last one is so. I was speeding, so a police officer gave me a ticket. Now when you use so, it's usually because something else happened. Okay? I overslept, so I was late for school. So if you need to pause, you can go ahead and pause to finish writing this one. And that's it for this interactive foldable.